The British Minister of Immigration resigned after publishing a draft law that declared the government a safe country for Rwand's plan to deport the immigrant deportation. The United Kingdom is in turmoil after publishing an emergency legislation aimed at allowing the government's Conservative Party allow Rwanda to progress Rwanda. The position of British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak seemed to be vulnerable on Wednesday after Immigrant Minister Robert Jenrick resigned because the government's migration policy resigned because of strong disputes with its direction. Rwanda Bill's security was designed by British Supreme Court, which found government's proposed plan send thousands of asylum seekers and immigrants to East African nation. Overcome November 15 decision. The draft, which sees Rwanda as a safe country, will run to the House Commons. Has some parts the human rights law and any other provision or rules domestic law any interpretation international law. The proposed legislation will also give courts the ability to ignore any precautionary measures to prevent flights from European Court of Human Rights. The alter introduced emergency law, saying that the deportation plan to be deported no longer allowed to make swamps in courts. The new turning point will control limits of our emergency legislation, deter him people who make dangerous journeys throughout the channel, and end the constant legal difficulties that fill courts, he wrote. Not the gangs of crime, but the parliament who has to decide who came to this country. In his letter of resignation to the Prime Minister, Jenrick wrote that the proposed laws were a victory of hope on experience. Bets for country are very high to avoid more powerful guards to end legitimacy legal difficulties that risk plan paralyzed and refuse purpose deterrence plan, he wrote. This was seen as a reference to rejection of the alter from European Convention on Human Rights. The publication law comes a day after signing a wise agreement to include commitments to treatment asylum seekers and other immigrants sent there while visiting Kigali, capital Rwanda. British Interior Minister James, Foreign Minister Vincent Biruta, who signed bilateral treaty wisely, said in a statement on Wednesday that the violation of global contracts could see that Rwanda was withdrawn from agreement. Without the legal behavior of the UK, Rwanda cannot continue its migration and economic development partnership, he said. The Rwanda Plan is at center immigration policy alter, and its success will be key to deying Conservative Party before an expected election next year, and will follow about 20 points in visibility surveys with one biggest issues. In 1960s, Prime Minister, one of Indian parents who migrated from East Africa to England, promised to begin in spring of next year. On June 29, 2022, London Court of Appeal decided that politics was illegal in accordance with the human rights law of England, which included